Okay, drawing 7, first of all, I say can be done in 3 levels. You can do it real easy by rounding the numbers to the nearest 1/4 of an inch. That way you don't have to change the grid. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm rounding in, like on the side view it says 13/16 of an inch. I'm rounding it to the nearest 1/4 of an inch. For instance, I rounded that to 3/4. On the top view where it says 1 5/8, I rounded that to 1 1/2. Go straight up here as well. 1 1/2. This is level 1, just making it real easy. Now notice here how this projects over to the same thing on the side view, okay? The same dimension on the front projects over to the side view. That should line up, and the grid really helps you identify that. It also projects up, same spot, on the top view. Okay, now I go down to where this lines up with this line on the side view. This is level 1. This is the easiest, just rounding it to the nearest 1/4 of an inch. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit more complicated now. I'm going to change on drawing 7. I look at my side view and it says 1 13/16. On the top view it says 1 5/8. Okay, you will be tested on this, so you really want to pay attention. Where it says 1 5/8 on the top view, you need to do something called changing the grid. You go to Settings, Grid Size, way down here, and right now it is at 0.250. That is a 1/4 of an inch. Think of that as being 250 thousandths. Remember, an 1/8 is half of a 1/4, so change it from 250 to 125. Just add a 1 in before the 2. I need to move over 1 more. Add a 1 before the 2. You can have more zeros over there if you want. And then press OK. Now, this is level 2. Second to the hardest way to do it. Things do not line up good, so what you have to do is zoom in 1 level, and on the top, for instance, you now can move this over 1/8 of an inch because you've changed your grid. So now, I click over here, I click on the line, and I go Modify, Move. I move the grid over 1/8 of an inch. If I moved it over there on the top view, I have to move it over 1 on the front view. Modify, move, move it over. Now that also means I need to make that line there a little shorter, that one a little longer. This is level 2, not that difficult. You change them to the nearest 1/8 of an inch. Okay? On the next one, level 3, the hardest, you go to Settings, Grid Size, and change it to a 1/16 of an inch. Okay? A 1/16 of an inch. Half of 125 thousandths would be like 62.5 thousandths. Or you could add a 0 on the end of that and think of that as being 1,250 thousandths. Half of 1,250 thousandths would be 625 thousandths. That would mean that you would make it 0.0625. 0.0625. Whenever you need to convert a fraction into a decimal, divide the top number by the bottom number, the numerator by the denominator. Okay? That just converted that to the nearest 1/16 of an inch. So what I do now, I go OK. I hit OK. If you can't remember how to do that, if you go on the Apple computer under the Apple menu and you drag down under, I think it's under Control Panel, there's a calculator, or...
Yeah, it says calculator.
Oh, okay, or it's just under, on this one it's just under Calculator. Some of them you have to go in the Control Panel or look under Settings and Utilities. So here is a calculator. Looks like the last calculation done on it was 1 divided by 16, because as you can see, It's 0.0625. I'm going to clear that out and show you how to do that. 1 slash, that means divided by 16 equals 0.0625. You can even copy and paste that in there. Okay? Now, I have to zoom in on my side view, one level. I zoom in on my side view, and I move that line. Remember, I was at 12/16 or 3/4. Now I need to go modify move and move it one more. Same thing on the side view. I have to modify move on the bottom part of that. I bring it down here. Click on it. I'm at 12/16. Every one of those rows is 1/16, so I move it up 1. That's just easier than having to count to 12/16. Now it looks like it erased the dots there, but they're not really gone. Anytime you want to get the dots back, go display, redraw. Okay, that is about the second hardest drawing that you do on the computer. The hardest one is number 12. Okay, I'm going to kind of just see if I can't convert this one to number 12 real quick without having to change the grid and everything back to 1/16 of an inch. I'm going to go here. Drawing number 12 looks like this. I would erase this line, delete, shorten this line, shorten that line to 3/4, make a line here. I'm going to choose a couple lines to get rid of on this one here. If you look at drawing 12,
it's really
this,
confusing.
rather than going up 3/4, it goes up 1 1/4. Right there, 1 1/4. 1 1/4, and then I come over 1 1/2. Right? 1 1/2 would be right. Right there. Got it. I don't have time getting that one. Remember, my grid has changed a little bit, so now this on the side view, I'd have a line that comes up 1/2, a line coming across, equivalent with that one, except it goes across both ways. I probably need to modify something a little bit here real quick. And I can do that by going to my arrow, clicking on that line, erasing it, click on that line, erase it, and then there's two really important concepts on this. Right here I have a line that I need to put at a 45-degree angle. So I click on one end of the line, I go down to the box, and I go angle. Now if I hit 45, it's going to go up like this. I really need to go, this is 0, 90 is straight up, plus another 45 would give us 135 degrees. So I can either move that until it says 135 for the angle over here, which is right there. Click. I did it at 135. Now that I've done that, I could come over and extend this line over the rest of the way. The reason I left my grid at a 1/16 of an inch is because I need to get a line halfway between here and here to make a circle. Okay, I'm almost done. I have one thing left. I need to make a circle in there. To make the circle, I zoom up. Okay, need to move over a little bit. My circle actually needs to be halfway between those two lines, the center of it. And this is why I left my grid down at a 1/16 of an inch, because it says that it's a 5/8 of an inch diameter circle. This is going to make it by the radius. Okay, remember diameter is all the way across the circle, radius is halfway. So if I'm doing a 5/8 of an inch diameter, I need a 5/16 of an inch radius. So here's how I do that. I go to my circle tool. Here, it says 2-point circle. Enter the center of the circle. Okay, it needs to be halfway between these two lines. If I would not have had my grid changed to a 1/16 of an inch, I couldn't have done that. Every time I go up 1/16, it also goes down a 1/16. Okay? Or every time I go down 1, it goes up 1 as well. So I just went down 5/16, and it also went up 5/16. That gives us a perfect 5/8 inch circle, and the object is done. We'd also have to put hidden lines on the side view where these line up straight across on the side view. You'd also have to put hidden lines on the top view where they line up equivalent with that. You would basically press the shift key and make sure that you get the lines on the top view lined up with that circle, go in that direction. And on the side view, you'd have hidden lines at this level here and at that level there. And that's all there is to it. Okay? Stop, pause,